hopefully we can file those away. And I posted the link that Sam shared in the chat, so you can grab that for your free access to Sam's resources for the next 30 days. So, hey, on behalf of the team here at the Minnesota Retailers Association, I want to thank you all for attending Retail Rally. I want to certainly thank our sponsors and congratulate our award winners. And on top of that, I want to say thank you to our presenters for sharing information and just giving of their time and talents here. We're so grateful. As I mentioned on the back end of this, the association is engaged in the fight against opioid abuse. And just as a little bit of bonus, if you're interested and want to hang around, we've got a little video for you from an organization called Code 3. And Code 3 works with, as I mentioned, the RX Abuse Leadership Initiative, a part of which MINRA is in fighting opioid abuse and prescription drug abuse. And so this video is really all about kind of the signs to catch and to look for when you're kind of looking for opioid abuse. It's really oriented around teenagers. And I think you'll enjoy the video as well. But we'll close out with that. But again, I just want to say thanks so much, everybody, for showing up. And back to what Lisa said on the beginning, you know what, we're only as strong as our members here, and we certainly welcome anyone from a membership perspective. In fact, it's how we get our work done. So I guess my advice is join your local chamber, by the way, first and foremost. Great organizations. Then when you have time and a little bit of resources available, look to this organization as well. So thank you so much. We're going to flop over into the opioid abuse spotting video, and I'll do that in just a moment, and hopefully we'll have good luck with that, just like we did with Sam's video. And give me just a moment here and I'll fire that up for you.
Hi.
All right, just about there. There we go. All right. This video will run about 10 minutes, and we'll wrap things up at the end for those of you still hanging with us. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Joe Abdallah. I am the Executive Director of Code 3 Association. Over the past year and a half, we have partnered with RALI, which is the RX Abuse Leadership Initiative. We joined forces to build a 32-foot trailer as a mock of a teenager's bedroom. We then walked parents, loved ones, and educators through that trailer, showing them the signs of opioid misuse. That trailer was put together in 3 themes. We used parents who had lost kids to addiction, we used kids in recovery, and we also used first responders and police officers that were seeing the large uptick in teen overdoses in bedrooms and what they were seeing while in that location. So we usually start the trailer tour in the closet area. I'd like to begin there with you and tell you that if you're going to take on this task, please wear gloves. And if you can, before reaching into any space that we would give you a location to look into, try and look in there before reaching your hands in. It's always best as a safety procedure. In case you were to encounter a needle, which you see here in the jacket in the closet, needles are shared by IV drug users and the protective cap is not always on. I tell parents, you know your child's medical history, you don't know that of who it's being shared with. So wear gloves, and if you can, peek in there before reaching your hands. If we turn to the necktie, which is hanging in the closet, neckties, shoestrings, and belts are commonly used as tourniquets for IV drug users. Tightly tied around the arm, cuts off the circulation, so it produces the vein for injection. After this is done, once the injection is done, there's always a small amount of trace blood that leaves the injection site. A lot of times and frequently when the tie or the shoestrings or the belt is taken off, they're gonna start to acquire this small amount of blood, and you're gonna start to see small blood or brown spots on these items, so keep an eye out for them. Also, as far as tourniquets, addiction often starts in a bathroom. Be on the lookout for a tie with a small loop in it, or shoestrings or a belt with a loop in it, found in the bathroom in an odd location. What's it doing there? Start to ask questions if you're starting to see other signs of behavior that aren't normal. We then go to the bottom of the closet where we have the shoes. I encourage parents, not only shoes that are laying loose, but shoes that are in boxes. Get into them. If the sole of the shoe is glued down, don't rip it up if it's secure, but get your hand deep into the tongue of the shoe. You'd be surprised what you can find there. It's a great hiding spot, not just for drug users, but for drug dealers. In our shoes here, we have a small knotted bag. It's actually the corner of a sandwich bag, powder placed in it, and it's twisted and tied in a knot. When it's going to be used, that knot is either ripped off with the teeth or it's pulled off and discarded as trash. And one of the most important parts of this tour, remember the trash, the indiscriminate trash from the packaging, the remnants left behind. There are a lot of times what mom saw laying around the bedroom loosely. Got them in their vacuum cleaner canisters, their washers, their dryers, but kids aren't careful with them because they're trash. And as far as closets, look at all the void spaces. Look at all the pockets in the pants and the shirts, the shoe boxes, all the other purses or compartments. Closets are great places to start. Spend a lot of time looking inside the closet. We then move to the bathroom or the trash can. If you look in the trash can, you'll see that piece of foil with the kind of tan residue. That's from smoking heroin or fentanyl or prescription pills. You can crush prescription pills and place them on that foil, as well as heroin or fentanyl powder. Place a heat source underneath and they vaporize. When they vaporize, kids will often use a hollowed pen casing. They'll suck in those vapors as they come off the foil, but you should never see pieces of foil in this condition or with that type of residue in your home. To the left of that, you'll see the orange and white caps. Those are actually the plunger protector for a syringe. The needle end is much more identifiable, and kids told us that that would get flushed down the toilet or thrown away more discreetly because people knew what they were. But parents thought these were either glue caps or marker caps or some kind of wire nut. They are red flag indicators of some type of ivory drug use taking place in your home, so be aware of them. And then we move up to the bathroom sink. On the front of the sink, you'll see the toothpaste container on the left. Nothing in that, just keep it in mind when it becomes important when we move into the medicine cabinet above the sink. There's black soot marks that you see on the bathroom sink to the back of the right. A spoon is probably the most common instrument used for heating heroin once it is mixed with water. You need to heat it to dissolve all the insolubles. So once it's heated, it can then be drawn up into the syringe and injected. That spoon is used multiple times a day, and each time a flame is placed on it, it gets this black charring, this black soot. Now, everywhere that spoon touches, laid on that sink, kids often get it on their hands. You're going to find it on door handles, toilet handles, light switches, walls. Ultimately, addiction moves from a bathroom to a bedroom. You're going to start to see it on bed sheets. So be very aware, very keen of these black soot marks. To the right of that, you see the Pepsi can. It's not a Pepsi can. It's actually a false bottom container or personal safe. If you hold it in your hand, unscrew the top, there's a huge void space in. You can store syringes, spoons, and a decent quantity of drugs. If you start to see a soda can or a beverage can around your kid's room for a week or a month, how long does a Coke can last in a teenager's room? Not long. Might be a time to start grabbing it, start tugging on it, and start twisting it around. In the back left rear, you see the Q-tip. It's missing an end of cotton. As I explained to you, the spoon is used for heating to dissolve all the insolubles. That cotton is placed directly into that liquid. The syringe needle is placed directly into that cotton, and the liquid is drawn up. The belief is from the 60s that that piece of cotton is going to filter out any impurities. It does nothing of the sort, can cause severe infections. What happens, though, that cotton is reused over and over again, begins to grow bacteria. At some point, it will be discarded. Again, like the knot from the shoe I told you, that indiscriminate packaging, mom found these little pieces of cotton, discolored pieces of cotton around their kids' bedrooms. Red flag indicator, be on the lookout for it. So then we can move up to the actual medicine cabinet. You'll see that the toothpaste container, the box, is in the cabinet. My point to you is if the toothpaste is on the counter, why is the cardboard box in the cabinet? It would be discarded as trash. It is a great, in its length and its structure and size, it's great for storing needles, spoons, and any other drug paraphernalia. So here we just ask you to kind of think outside the box. If the toothpaste is there, start getting into things that should be discarded as trash. Below that, you see the over-the-counter medications. A very common side effect of both legal and illegal opioid use is constipation. So the kids said they would take a medication to help constipation, drink too much, and now they have diarrhea, so they need to buy anti-diarrhea medicine. And they told us they would drink a balance between these two medications to find balance in their system. What I tell parents is they're your child. Most of the time you would know if they have some ongoing digestive issue that they would need these. You would already know about it. You would probably be the one purchasing them. So if you start to see them show up, might be worth a question. Same way with nausea medicine. Again, another side effect of legal and illegal opiates is nausea. If you're starting to see that show up, don't know of an existing issue, they live in your house. If you don't know of an existing issue, it's worth a question. So we leave the bathroom and head over to the bedroom. If you look at the top of the bed, as I talked about IV injections, there's always a small amount of blood that leaves the injection site. And a lot of times, and very commonly, and this is one we got from parents, they started to see small blood stains on the bed sheets and the bed covers of their kids' beds. Be on the lookout for those. They're very important and very easy to spot. To the right, you see that black pen casing. That's a hollowed out pen casing, as I told you earlier, very, very commonly used to suck in vapors of heroin, fentanyl, or crushed prescription pills that are smoked. Very common for sucking in those vapors as they come off the foil. Below that is the red straw. A 2-inch piece of straw has absolutely no legitimate purpose. It is not the world's smallest drinking straw. It is used for snorting crushed prescription pills, heroin, fentanyl, methamphetamine, Molly, you name it. The problem is, as they snort powders, it develops moisture inside of the straw. Then the product begins to stick, so they have to discard it. Guess what? They cut a new piece. The discarded straws are another one that moms used to see all the time, had no clue what they were, and knew there was no justification for that 2-inch, and there is no 2-inch drinking straw. But again, the whole point of this course is so parents can speak from a position of strength and know what explanations are plausible and which are not. So then we go to the bedside table. On top, you'll see in the back right that pouch or compartment. These are called Go Kits or Works Kits. All kids that are IV injectors have them. When your kid leaves your house and is going to meet the local supplier, they're getting sick, the body is telling them they need to replenish with heroin, opioids, fentanyl, with whatever they're ingesting. This kit contains everything they need that they can't carry in 20 pockets. A lighter or torch, spoon, tourniquet, cotton, syringe, and the drug packaging themselves. Most kids we find in this country overdosed in cars or outside have one of these kits with them in some shape or form. Any personal compartment, pouch, zippered compartment your kid has that they are never without, I would suggest getting into it. On the back left, the alarm clock runs off electricity. On the bottom, it has a battery compartment, a backup. It doesn't need the battery to run. It's a free void space. Get into any electrical equipment your kid has, video game that has a battery backup, an open free compartment. The Dasani bottle water in the front. It's actually another personal safe. If you grab the top and the bottom, pull them apart, there's a large void space in there. You could hide syringes, spoons, anything, any kind of drug paraphernalia and drugs themselves in there. It's pretty tricky. It has water at the top and the bottom. Again, if you're seeing it around the room, hasn't been opened, but just moves around the room, it's worth taking a look at, tug on it, see what's in it. It might be water, but tug on it. It might just lay around the kid's room. The spoon you see in the front right, representative of a spoon used to heat substances for IV injection. And what you'll find, you'll see kind of either a white, tan, brown, gray residue on them. Usually you'll find a piece of cotton right in the center that they draw up into the syringe. On the bottom of that spoon, you're always going to find that black soot. So be very, very aware of those spoons. So from there, we go to the top of the dresser. On top of the dresser, and this is the most important part of the tour, in my opinion, if you go to the remnants or the packaging or the trash that are left behind, I cannot tell you in the packaging what you see here, cotton balls, the stamp bags, which are miniature sandwich bags, same premises which you put your sandwich in, but they're about the size of your fingernail. The top of those are torn off and discarded as trash. The knot we talked about earlier, this wax paper packaging, small folded pieces of paper that don't have love notes or phone numbers on them, very red flag indicators of drug use. Very, and again, the most important part of the tour, because this is what parents told us they saw and they found every day. They're red flag indicators. So then if we go to behind the pictures, there's nothing behind these pictures. There's about a 1.5 to 2 inch void space between those and the wall though. And what's very important is you could put ounces of drugs, all kinds of paraphernalia behind that. And we ask you to think outside the box. Anywhere you can get your hand a storage space, any void space, dressers, even the clean clothes, the shirts, get in between them. Look in between them. The socks that are folded, unball those socks. Great hiding spot. The dirty clothes hamper, who wants to dig through that? Not me, but guess what? That's the reason to go through the dirty clothes hamper, get into the pockets. Think outside the box. I leave you with this. I tell people throughout my police career that good policemen are nosy. I believe good parents are nosy. If you have those suspicions, take a look through your kid's room. You can be, you don't have to be obtrusive. You don't have to be a construction crew together to dismantle the kid's room. Trash might be laying around right in front of you, very easy to spot. I hope this was helpful. Please encourage all of your friends, your associates with teenagers to view the video. Thank you to RALI Cares for the partnership, and I hope this was helpful.
All right. Hey, I know that's a bit of a sobering video, but I do want to thank our friends at RALI for putting that together. I will just say, as an organization, again, we really want to do what we can as an organization to help those struggling with addictions, including opioid abuse. And from our perspective, the most loving thing you can do for a family member, a friend, or an associate is recognize the signs and offer to help out. So thanks for sticking with us for that. I hope everybody had a great afternoon. We so much enjoy doing this event. Hopefully we'll see you again next year in person. And just a quick shout out to my good friend Lonnie, who I know is still on. And Lonnie, you were a great supporter of a wonderful happy hour last year. We look forward to getting back to that in 2021. So everyone, thanks so much. Be safe tonight and have a great day.